to Tidy Up Texan. If you are new here, hi, welcome. I am Nicole. And if you are returning, I so appreciate the continued love and support. And today we have a big cleanup once again. In last week's video, we tackled the living room, and today we are tackling the dinette area. And as you can see, we still have piles and piles of things that came out of my mother-in-law's room. So there are piles that are going to be going out of the house and piles that need to find a new home. So let's begin by getting everything out, and then we will do a thorough cleaning. If you're wondering what all the furniture is outside this window, that also came out of my mother-in-law's room, and we do either need to sell some of it or just relocate it. They are pretty big, heavy pieces, so taking them down to the warehouse is a task, and nobody really wants to do that task. So for the most part, the piles along the windows, those all need to be taken out. Things that we just don't need. So they're either going to go into the garbage or put away out in the warehouse for later. The shelf that you see off to the left, not my favorite, but it is for all our extra appliances. And for the most part, everything is used on a regular basis, but won't fit into our overloaded cabinets, which hopefully we will get to soon. So everything on this table really just needs to be relocated. A lot of it my sister-in-law has plans for, so I am just going to relocate it to the main dining area for her to decide what she wants to do with it. And as for the table itself, it's not necessary in this room. We don't ever dine in here or use it as a prep area or anything like that. It's just sentimental. It was my mother-in-law's, and Ryan and his sister definitely wanted to keep it in this room. I just wanted to say, in my last video, I got tons of feedback, and I so appreciate it. Getting to know you all and hearing constructive criticism really helps me out. I am still new at this, and I love hearing your thoughts. And since I am a extreme introvert, doing these videos is extremely out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I am a very quiet person, and talking is not my strong suit. So thank you for all who have commented. I so appreciate it. Everything I'm putting into this blue basket is all little odds and ends. I have no idea what they are. So I'm going to put that basket in the dining room, and then the red basket is full of hair products. And my sister-in-law, she is a hairstylist, and so she plans to take that to her work. So I'm just going to place it in her room for now. Then give this table a nice thorough cleaning. There's a lot of damage on the table, but it is clean. But ideally, I would love to sand this table down and give it a nice new finish and just make it look pretty again. Okay, so this area back here, behind me is our coffee bar. This area does get used quite often and it is just filthy. So I'm taking everything off, giving things a wipe down, and taking this white fabric off the bar and giving the table a nice cleaning also. So off to the right is an espresso machine, which I do like espressos, but I have no idea how to use this machine. I think my sister-in-law has maybe used it once or twice, but we need to learn how to use it and utilize it. And maybe that's a sign that I am getting old because this machine does intimidate me. So I have a question for y'all. We are all big coffee drinkers here. I have a Keurig in my room, but Ryan and Morgan, Ryan's sister, they use the coffee machine down here. And we are in Texas, and there is a lot of mosquitoes and flies. And I've heard that taking out dry coffee grounds will deter mosquitoes and flies. Has anybody heard this? Has anybody used this? Does it work? We need help here. Once I'm done putting everything back on the coffee bar, I'm going to be working underneath it. We have the dog bowls, some trash cans, way too many of them, so I'm just going to put one of them back once I sweep and mop over here. So I noticed as I was putting everything back, this brand new trash can has already gotten dirty. Morgan's little corgis, they are notorious for getting into the trash. So we had to come up with a new trash can that they couldn't get into. And believe it or not, the little Siamese cat that you see running around here, he likes to help the corgis out every once in a while and knock over stuff for them to eat. On two separate occasions, Ryan was cooking. He had put out some ground beef, a big old chub of ground beef to defrost for a while. Little August, the little Siamese cat, he decides that he's going to help out the corgis. Not only does he first open it up for the corgis, but then he pushes it off, and the corgis decided to eat more than half of that chub. Ryan was so mad. And then the second time, Ryan had left a baking sheet full of chicken that he hadn't yet seasoned. And August decides to grab a couple pieces and throw it on the floor for the dogs. Luckily, it was only a couple pieces, but as you can imagine, Ryan was not happy. I'm telling you, these three are partners in crime. All right, now that we are all done vacuuming everything up, I am going to give this a good scrub with the mop. And of course, the worst part of it is under the coffee bar, which you can see that big old spill right underneath. However, I was pleasantly surprised that Morgan and Ryan have been keeping up with cleaning the floors, so it wasn't as bad as I had anticipated it would be. So if you've been here for a while, you know I don't typically come down here. I do not do well in clutter, and the kitchen, and as you can see, all the stuff that was in here usually is pretty much in here anyways. Not so much the exact items, but it's always cluttered. So I don't come down here very often, but I wanted to get these areas cleaned up really well. The kitchen, on the other hand, that is Ryan and Morgan's area. They are the ones who, well, Ryan's the one who cooks, but Morgan does like to bake. So she has a lot of stuff in here. And we do have three households full of things in the kitchen. So I have to pick my battles, and the kitchen is a battle that I don't want to pick. However, everyone does agree that it does need to be decluttered just a little bit so that things fit and things have a home. So eventually there will be a video on that, and Morgan and Ryan will be included in that declutter video. But we are finally finished, and here are the before pictures, piles and piles upon piles of stuff. It almost looks like an entirely different room now. Almost to the point I actually don't mind coming down here once we get to the kitchen, that is. But no, this makes me extremely happy to see. No more clutter, nice and clean, just the way I like it. And of course, I am so appreciative that you decided to spend your time here with me today. All the love and support just means the world to me. So thank you. And until next time, bye.